Lincoln and North Kingstown is championship number 2 here on the docket as we welcome you in live from Providence, Rhode Island at LaSalle Academy. It's the Lincoln Lions Peewee team versus the North Kingstown Jags Peewee team. As we get ready to start off championship number 2 of the day, we saw a 27-0 win for North Smithfield over Johnston in the junior Peewee division. And now we have some other youngsters out there ready to start off the championship game, the biggest game of their young careers. As we welcome you in, Stone Freeman, Kyle Rowley with you here. And Kyle, I guess we got a new audience here. We can set the scene. So these gentlemen out there on the field, about 9 to 10-year-old kids, so they're youngsters, but this is an important game for them. Obviously, they play all season for this, and you find yourself in the championship game and a chance to, crown yourself a champ on a Sunday in November. You never pass up that opportunity.
It is what they look forward to all season. Some of them have been playing since they're 7 years old. Maybe it's been 3 years coming to get to this point, and we'll see how it plays out. We just saw, a Johnson team that took a tough loss and didn't, execute the way I'm sure they wanted to. And sometimes there's jitters in these big games, so we'll see how these young kids handle it in the first quarter, the first sets of downs. Because oftentimes this is the first championship or first playoff series they've ever played in.
Oliver Joseph is the kicker, puts a boot in it. It goes off of the helmet of NK, and bringing it back is Andrew Hayes, number 12 for the Jags, and that's where the Jags will begin their opening drive, is at the 35-yard line. So 4 10-minute quarters. If it reaches 28-point deficit at any point, we'll go to a running clock. But two really good teams here in this championship affair. Thanks so much for spending a portion of your morning with us. It's an early morning here in the Ocean State, as the Peewee Championship between Lincoln and North Kingstown. How we got here, North Kingstown took down Tri-Town 20-12, and then took down the North Smithfield Express 26-0 in the semifinals. As the first play from scrimmage, zigzagging his way through traffic, is Case Buckley. Buckley upfield to the 40, to the 35, and he runs out of bounds, getting chased out of bounds by Vincent Leagley. And it's a big gainer from the 35 to the opposing 35, a 50-yard gain on the ground.
Well, that's exactly how you want to start your championship run. Buckley weaving through traffic, able to knock off a ton of yardage there, much more than they needed for that 10-yard first down. And an interesting formation for the Jaguars to start, sort of a trips H-back set, if I would describe it. Now they come out in a more conventional tight set with two tight ends.
It was a 30-yard gain. As we have a flag, it's a false start. Lincoln has a really good defense, at least playoff-wise. This Lions team beating EWG in the opening round. They're the 1 seed overall. And they took down EWG 32-0, and then they took down North Providence, the 4 seed, 42-6. North Kingstown is the 3 seed. The 2 seed was Johnston. They lost in the opening round to number 7, the Express of North Smithfield, 14-12, so that knocked out the 2. And now we have the 1 versus the 3, Lincoln and North Kingstown. A 5-yard penalty that knocks them back 5 yards. And from the 40-yard line, it'll be first and goal from the 15. Again, Buckley weaseling his way in and out of tacklers. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but he was nearly taken down in the backfield by a couple different Lions, including number 15, Kellen Williams.
I've never heard that, weaseling his way.
Weaseling his way.
Weaseling, almost like there's something wrong with how he's doing.
That's right. Weaving would be the correct verb.
But Buckley doing a good job, but not so much there. Lincoln's defense does a good job. I mean, this set, I can't say I've seen it before. They're lining up 3 running backs off tackle and trying to get the quarterback behind them. Now they do it to the left. They've done it twice to the right. Look for Buckley try to get behind them, and Lincoln jumps off sides. So they're going to call it on the Jags. Nope, they call it on.
Yeah, that's Lincoln, yeah. So they'll get those penalty yardage back that they originally took on. And it's back to the 35-yard line after the encroachment. And it brings it to 2nd and 10. Again, this drive started at the 35-yard line. It was a 30-yard rush for Chase Buckley. As number 40, the quarterback, stands in the shotgun. He hands it off to a man cutting in front of him. That's Max Alves. And Alves gets about a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. He's taken down by number 8, Xander Caro for Lincoln. It's a 1-yard loss. Brings up 3rd and 11 from the 36-yard line.
A little bit of a speed sweep there by the North Kingstown offense. Max Alves, the recipient, number 21, set in motion. That takes a lot of timing from the quarterback. I think they need to time it up a little bit better right there. You're trying to get the edge and get a jump on those defensive ends, but a little bit sputtering on that play so far in the first quarter.
4-down territory in no man's land as Buckley drifts it over and up around himself. A lot of movement in the backfield, and 2 different Lions come in to take him down. Harmon, number 11, will get credited with the sack, and it brings up 4th and 12, another loss back to the 47-yard line or 37-yard line.
Well, Cadence Piccoli came in there late as well and put a hit on the quarterback, and I was wondering if Buckley would be able to get up from that hit. 45, Cadence Piccoli, one of the bigger guys you could see out there on the field, doing some of the heavy lifting in the trenches. He'll play nose guard in this play as North Kingstown goes to the speed sweep.
Yeah, it's number 4, Fox, who pitches it to 40, Buckley, and Buckley is taken down. Big tackle by the defensive lineman up front. That's 45, Piccoli. And Lincoln, you got to give them credit. They took a shot, a 30-yard play rush for Buckley for NK started this drive. And Lincoln digs in, took an encroachment penalty at one point, brought it back to 2nd and 10, and then it's 4 straight tackles for loss, and it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, that's exactly the mentality you want. Lincoln's defense, bend, don't break. I mean, that's the motto of many defenses across the nation, especially at this level. You know, they're gonna gain some yards, but we're gonna keep them out of the end zone.
So Lincoln will begin this drive at the 36-yard line. And it's a false start right away. We'll back them up 5 yards, back to the 31.
We'll see if Lincoln's offense can get out to a start. The all-important first offensive drive. It's very nice to start out championships up 7-0 if you can. Set the tone. Get in your opponent's head a little bit. Like we said, there are nerves, especially at this level in the last game of the season.
So they play action fake. The quarterback takes it himself. Caro is the quarterback, number 8 for Lincoln. So he'll get a gain of about 2. And again, trying to fight back those penalty yards after the false start against the Lions. So it brings up 2nd and long, 2nd and 13.
Looks like Lincoln will lean heavy on Caro, the quarterback. He'll do a bunch of the running. If I had to guess right here, looked like good athlete on that run. Number 8, kind of running the show. You can see him directing traffic, getting them set in the formation. North Kingstown in a 3 shell on defense.
This time they go to the end around. Getting upfield past his blockers is Justin, and Justin is going to be just shy of a first down. He's going to be spotted out of bounds at the 45-yard line. They need the 46 for a first down.
Number 80, Calix Justin, on the motion, try to get him to the edge. Looks like Lincoln will be employing that modern style offense. They're going to try to use all 53 yards of width of this field, make you guard everything, come out in different formations, and then attack up the middle and to the outside and keep you guessing.
So Caro is the lone man in the backfield, empty backfield, but again, we've seen some wideouts that drift in and out. And here again is Justin. Justin hands it back around to his teammate in the backfield, and he's going to be knocked down shy of the first down marker. And
that's
the ball
number 18,
yeah.
Smith there. That's a double reverse. Like we said, I get the feeling that Lincoln's philosophy here is use the whole field, sideline to sideline, and beat this team with speed. North Kingstown Jags, by the way, a very good Peewee organization, known to win at kind of all the age brackets, so no surprise that they're here, a well-coached at every single level, and a good feeder system into that high school. They tend to mimic what the high school does. So we'll see if they do a little bit of that on defense here today.
NK and Lincoln, we got 4 championships today. They're the only 2 teams that have 2 different championship squads, or fighting for championships, I should say, as this is a first down. At least that's what the Lincoln sideline thinks. And they did. They moved the chains. So they only needed 1 yard, and that's all they got. But that'll keep this drive moving for the Lions after they turned the NK Jags over on downs.
Well, they
first
sneak
step
it
from
with
the 37.
Yeah, they sneak it with Caro there. He does a good job, gets low, drives, gets what he needs, moves the chains. You know, especially early in this game, just want to get those chains moving, get the nerves to kind of subside, get into your flow on offense, and just avoid penalties to start. They made a good stop on defense, and if they could come away with just some points, that would go a long way to setting the tone here in this championship game.
Yeah, corrections. The 47-yard line is where they will take the snap. And trying to get out of the backfield is Harmon. And he does. He gets a modest 2-yard gain that he has to earn each side of. Jackson Braun makes the stop, number 99, from behind. So they're into Jags territory. Will bring up 2nd and 7 from the 49.
Number 26, Mason Sean Farber there in on the stop as well. Does a good job to pursue from behind as they put themselves in a pretty good position. You know, they say the count is even on 2nd and long. So, you know, what these defenses want to do is create as many third down situations as they possibly can throughout this game, because when you stop them on 3rd, that's a turnover in the books.
They snap the football to the Jags. Cutting up field, trying to find a seam, and it's a nice gain for, I think it was number 6. No, that's 8 again. That's Caro. And it brings up 3rd and short. They're up to the 43-yard line for a 6-yard gain. 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Caro, good job just getting downhill, getting what he can on second and medium. Brings up that 3rd and 1, like you said. This is right where North Kingstown wants to be. If they can just come up with a play here to get their offense back out on the field. And like I said, this is a battle, just setting the tone. This is like in a boxing match, sticking some jabs in there early and trying to put them on their heels. 2nd,
3rd down that Lincoln has faced today. And they go again on a handoff to Justin, and he's avoids the first wave, and he's got the first down. He initially was hit about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage and scampers upfield for a first.
I'll tell you what, he did it the hard way. He had an opportunity to cut upfield and pick up that 1 to 2 yards he needed. He decided to go the scenic route to the outside, cuts back, avoids 2 tackles to barely come back and get the yard I think he had initially if he just cut upfield, but shows his athleticism. Justin does, and he's a guy that they're going to go to on those speed sweeps, try to get him to the edge. They feel like he's got the speed to break one eventually in this game.
Despite the 2nd 3rd down, just the first conversion on 3rd down, Lincoln faced 4th down earlier and converted it. Okay, to continue this drive, brand new set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 42 as the flags come in and the quarterback gets taken down on the keeper. And we'll see what the flag is.
While we wait for that, you know, another good run. Not a big pickup by Kalo, but you can see how much he fights. He employs that stiff arm, kind of moves the way, you know, he needs to in order to keep his team, you know, moving forward. And a lot of respect for these young guys that have to handle the ball 40 to 50 times out of the gun.
Right.
So you immediately know that, you know, at this level, they tend to put that top athlete out in the middle of the field and say, listen, you need to take care of this ball. And by the way, you're probably going to run it the majority of the time, so good luck.
That was a illegal shift, so back them up 5 yards from the 41 to the 46. And that's where Lincoln will snap this football. And Caro has it again. And he gets back a couple of the penalty yards. We'll bring up 2nd and long, 2nd and 12. Ball going to be spotted at the 44-yard line.
Quarterback Carl fakes the inside handoff to Calix Justin, number 80. Gets out to his right side, picks up a few, but I like the savvy of him because he rolls forward and spots the ball himself for the ref 2 yards up from where he should be. The ref's got to move it back, but that's those are things you're taught in college.
Yeah.
Do not give that ball to him. Put it 1 yard, make him pull
We
it
need
back.
it, yeah.
It's a game of it.
So we're back here. Providence, Rhode Island's the setting. Into the second quarter we go. NK received the opening kickoff, the Jags did. And they moved about 35 yards before getting stopped on 4th down. And this is where Lincoln has taken over. A 4th down conversion and a 3rd down conversion has them in the driver's seat. As it's 2nd and long. Stone Freeman, Kyle Rowley with you here on a beautiful Sunday in the Ocean State. As the snap is taken directly, and it's number 11, the ball carrier, Harmond. And he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, so a 3-yard gain on 2nd down brings up 3rd down from the 42. 3rd and 11 is where it's officially spotted at, and Harmon's going to come off the field. Kyle, we talked about this during our first broadcast. These two teams have a much more, comparative sideline. A lot of depth on these two teams, so you see a lot more guys coming in and out. Harmon comes off the field. Into the game comes Xander Caro again.
Yeah, absolutely. And in football, depth is everything.
Yeah.
There's always nicks and bruises. There's always injuries. Guys always have to come out for a play or two. And if you always have to take 2 steps back because you don't have the substitutions available, it can be very tough. But these two teams look pretty stacked. Good organizations, historically, both of them, as Caro looks for space and does a good job weaving through traffic. Looks like he's going to pick up maybe 6 yards on the quarterback keep.
Yeah, Caro looked like he might throw it. Instead, he went forward. Jackson Braun takes him down and brings up 4th and manageable. The ball was spotted back at the 42-yard line, and now it is out to the 37, so a 5-yard gain brings up about 4th and 5. We've already seen them convert on 4th down once. Granted, it was 4th and short, about 4th and a half a yard. This will be a little bit more challenging, and NK has the same opportunity that their offense just faced against this Lincoln defense, which is a chance to turn them over and give the ball back to a high-powered offense. Caro takes the snap, hands it off immediately in the backfield, and in and out of traffic and taken down at the line of scrimmage, and NK comes up with a 4th down stop. Another turnover on downs. Each team has had one of that variety in similar field position, and now the Jags will bring their offense back out.
Well, it's an interesting play call. I don't know if I'm in favor of it. Lincoln comes out in a very tight formation, tries to give an inside handoff to Justin, but when you allow the defense to crowd the box that much, it's tough pickings when on 4th and 5, 4th and 6, maybe trying to get Justin to the outside, but North Kingstown at the very least does a good job containing there, and that'll give their offense the ball back. 0-0 here, 8:14 in the second quarter. These quarters move fast, so it puts some pressure on that offense to do some work here on this drive for North Kingstown.
So NK will begin their second drive at their own 36-yard line. They lose a yard on their first play. We'll bring it back to the NK 35.
Yeah, Mason, Sean Farber there on the carry. Just want to do your best to stay positive, always be falling forward. Picking up 3-4 yards always puts you in a good, manageable third down. I mean, you and I have been doing this a long time.
That's right.
It tends to be keeping your offense in situations that you have plays to call for on that play card.
Buckley under center again for the Jags, and he's going to take it himself. Tried to get around the left side of the line of scrimmage, and he's met instantly. Wrapping up from behind is A.J. Montgomery, number 22 for the Lions, and it brings up 3rd and 9 as he got maybe a 1-yard gain up to the 37-yard line.
North Kingstown goes back to that triple stack formation, just trying to get their quarterback behind almost an uneven line, really just trying to outweigh their opponent. There's nothing fancy about it. The problem with it is you're signaling to the defense where you're going to go, so you're betting on your guys to be able to out-physical the defense. Not a word, but used very often in football.
Buckley takes his time. Buckley's going to throw. He's got a man wide open, and he overthrew him. Buckley took his time, had good protection. He was looking downfield for Michael Dowd, who's a tall young man on the outside, and it's incomplete, and it brings up 4th and 9.
Yeah, Dowd kind of stopped his feet there, turned. This will happen often when you're wide open. Dowd felt like he was wide open, turned his body back to the quarterback, and that's where the mishap happened because Buckley threw it as if he were going to continue to run, and kind of a miscommunication or at least poor chemistry there, just something they need to work out. You need to talk through it with your receiver. Even when you're wide open, please keep running because I can't anticipate you doing things like that. But good effort.
At this level of football, obviously going to see a lot of 4-down territories. So it's 4th and 9. Buckley bobbles the snap, and he's going to have to take it himself. Buckley upfield, and he's going to get upended at the 43-yard line, and a flag comes in the backfield.
Buckley is shaken up there. Did a good job to keep his composure, get that ball back in his hands, get upfield, show some athleticism, but he took a beating at the end of that play and paid the price as he's got his hands on his head. Looks like maybe the wind knocked out of him.
I don't know what the penalty was. As we're back here at LaSalle Academy for NK and Lincoln in the Peewee championships of the RI preteen bracket. There was a penalty on the play, but ultimately it got negated because Lincoln is going to take over. So it's a turnover on downs. We've seen 3 drives between these teams and 3 turnover on downs. Second one for NK. So this new drive starts for Lincoln's first drive, or rather second drive, first drive of the second half will begin at the NK 43. Good starting field position for the Lions as the first play from scrimmage is Caro, and he gets upfield to the 35-yard line, going to bring up second and short. Good first down play call from the Lions.
Nothing fancy there, direct snap to Caro. Good job up front for Lincoln, paving the way for that pickup by the quarterback. He'll run to the sideline kind of between these plays, get the play directly from his coach and head back to the huddle. Oftentimes you see, the high school youth level, a lot of signals happening.
Yeah.
But this is how we used to do it.
Believe it or not, we saw a coach up here at the booth level in the junior Peewee.
Yes.
Yeah, they were using headsets for Johnston. These two teams both using signals as Caro is in the backfield, and he's going to get bottled up. First man to him was Emmanuel Jala, number 3 for the Jags. And so far, this has been a defensive-minded game for both sides as we have another injury on the field, this time for a Lincoln Lion.
Yeah, good job by Jala there, getting in the backfield. That's what they need to do, just kind of try to disrupt.
When you were at Hendricken, LaSalle didn't have all this, though, did they?
No.
Do you remember?
I don't think
Hendricken didn't have all of it either, though, right?
I don't even remember playing it.
Oh, really?
Unless it just looked different.
We're back here in Providence at LaSalle Academy. Stone Freeman and former Brown University quarterback Kyle Rowley with you for the Peewee Championships. Lincoln and NK. It's been a defensive affair so far, 0-0.
Yeah, these two teams, to me, looking at it from the first quarter, seem to be very evenly matched, size-wise, speed-wise. So, defensive battle, like you said, so far. As they go direct snap, trying to get around the right side, goes number 11, Ellison Harmon, and North Kingstown defense coming up big there as they corral him well into the backfield.
Mason Schonfarber comes up with the fumble recovery, and again, right on cue with our defensive effort, what we were highlighting, a fumble recovery, and that'll set up a struggling NK offense in good field position. So we just saw maybe, the tides had turned a little bit in Lincoln's favor. They got good field position, and then the defense comes up big for the Jags, and the Jags will take over at the 45.
Huge play. Need to see what the Jags can do on offense. Like you said, 32-0, 42-0, some scores from their previous couple games. They're able to put points on the board, but not thus far in this first half. 5:11 left, and I'd like to see them try to dial something up, maybe open up the offense a little bit, get to the passing.
After the fumble recovery, North Kingstown will start this drive at their own 45. Neither team been able to really get anything going offensively as we're back with you here at the Turf LaSalle Academy. The ball carrier is number 23 for NK. That's Lesniak. And it brings up second down and about 7 to go.
North Kingstown goes under center, straight handoff, off tackle, nothing fancy, falls forward for 4 yards. It's a good sign on first down. That's what you want to look for. You want to see, are they averaging 3 to 4 yards? Can they sustain this down the field as they believe they give it to their fullback. Another gain of about 2 or 3.
That's 99. That's Jackson Braun. So you're right, Kyle. Just chipping away here are the Jags. With about 4 minutes and change left to go here in the first half. It'll be 3rd and 2 from the 42-yard line. or rather, sorry, 47-yard line.
You know, when you find yourself in these defensive battles, kind of got to go back to basic, talk about blocking up front and falling forward and scraping for 3 or 4 yards. Now they got a manageable third down situation here. Should be able to pick this up and keep these chains moving. Lincoln's defense look like they're going to call timeout, talk it over. They kind of have a sense for this moment. Oftentimes, you just get back into the flow. You got to remember, this is the last game. You want to come out with a win of the last game of that season. That means you are crowned as champions. But it's the all-important chess match of who can put points on the board first. Because as we know, the deeper you get into the second quarter and third quarter, the complexity of the game can change depending on who has the lead. Meaning you're forcing your opponent into passing situations, doing things they don't want to do in the most important game of the season. And that's what hangs in the balance right here as we look on. Looks like Lincoln called that timeout. North Kingstown will talk it over, see what they can dial up on 2nd and 2, second quarter of the championship Peewee matchup.
Yeah, Lincoln went 7-0 in the regular season. NK went 6-1. So did Johnston going 6-1, but they didn't make it here to the championship game, as it's 3rd down and short for the Jags, and Buckley's going to keep it, and he pushed the pile himself forward past the 45-yard line to the 43, and it's a 1st down and a chain mover for the Jags.
Yeah, that's just no-nonsense football. Looks like North Kingstown has made a concerted effort to run downhill on this drive, try to go back to the bread and butter, and they just give it to their quarterback there and tell him, find a hole through the A or B gap and get us this 1st down. Let's keep these chains moving. Good things will happen.
3:30 left to go in the first half of play. NK threatening as they've put together a nice drive so far. And this will be trouble. Avoiding the first wave, though, and then getting hit. And a penalty marker comes in. 45 was the tackler, Cadence Piccoli. And it might be some type of head-to-head contact. Lincoln doesn't agree with it, but that's just a hard hit.
Piccoli definitely dished it out right there. You know, I'm never one to blame the head-to-head contact in the running game. It's hard when you're lowering your shoulder level, your pad level. Guess what's in front of that? It tends to be your head.
Yeah.
You know, you can't play this game upright. So, but you got to wonder, you know, how Max Alves, I believe that's right, down there, 21, the ball carrier, did a good job. Not great blocking on the outside on that play, but Alves did a great job to get upfield, avoid a couple, and then just took a knockout blow by Piccoli. So we've got players respectfully on their knees, hoping for the best here. You know, could be possibly, you know, a concussion type situation. To be honest, that was.
Back here in Providence, it was nice to see Max Alves walk off under his own power. Scary scene, though, as he took a hard hit as the ball carrier. The penalty from that hit has NK in really good field position, though, now out to the 46. Buckley, the ball carrier. Positive gain, just shy of the 20, or others the 26, out to the 21-yard line. And NK is itching closer to that red zone.
North Kingstown went back to that unique set. We'll call it the Triple H for now. That's what I'm calling it. They've lined up 3 guys in that H-back position. They're all shoulder to shoulder. And I haven't seen them do anything but try to get the quarterback behind there and try to outweigh the defense at that, off-tackle spot on the field.
NK has gone about 40 yards on this drive as they're trying to strike first and take some momentum into the halftime break. And penalty markers come in. I think that's an illegal shift, false start rather. Back them up 5.
Yeah, I think they had 2 men in motion because he should be allowed to go sideways, but I believe he had a little bit of a false start by number 4. Forgive me if I'm wrong. That would be Wesley Fox, but a lot going on there, and ref didn't like the look of it. It felt awkward. It felt like he left early, and it wasn't a planned motion, although you can get away with it if it's lateral at times.
So they will come back behind the original line of scrimmage. First down marker is up at the 16-yard line. So at the 26, it's 2nd and 10. And Buckley hands it off. And a nice play. Ball carrier is that fullback who we've seen a couple times already today, 99 Jackson Brune. And he'll get the first down to an 11-yard gain that moves the sticks.
Jackson Brune again from that H-back spot. They give him that speed sweep handoff, and he's a bruiser, knows how to get upfield, use his body weight against that defense. And that's a big play. Now we're, we're up to 15. We're well inside the red zone. Here, 118, 128, I should say, in the first half. A chance to strike and go into halftime winning in this title match.
So the clock stopped at 128. I think one of these teams took a timeout. Missed what team it was, but ultimately be about 88 seconds left to go in this half.
This is what we call striking distance, right? Like you can put 7 up from here. I would say when we're doing URI games, that's about the 25 to 30. Sure. A little bit bigger arm strength from those guys. Guys can go get it. But this is definitely at the youth level, a spot where they could throw a corner route, throw a back line into the end zone and come away with 7. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. It seems like North Kingstown is set to keep it on the ground here.
NK did receive the opening half as penalty marker comes in again. Brune is the ball carrier as he zigzags to the 5-yard line. We'll see what the penalty marker indicates.
Brune, the bruiser, running over guys.
That time it's an illegal shift.
I don't think the refs like the way that they're operating in the backfield. I don't think it's necessarily a penalty for Brune to start moving laterally, but they're doing it so close to the snap count that I believe the refs are calling it offsides when you could look at it as just motion.
Yeah, true. That'll back them up again. So it's 1st and 15. And about a minute left to go in this half. So time going to be used against NK now as Buckley bounces off the line of scrimmage, trying to get to the edge, avoids a tackler at the 10-yard line, and he's going to be marked out at the 11. That stops the clock too, more importantly, so a wise play. It'll be 6 yards shy of a first down, but ultimately keeps this drive alive.
Buckley did a great job just to get any positive yardage there. Made a great move in the backfield, a little step back like he was Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Got out of some trouble, got to the sideline, and keeps his team in a decent situation as this is an all-important drive for North Kingstown, a chance to grab it by the horns this game.
This drive started at the 45-yard line back in NK territory. So a 35-yard drive so far as Buckley still has the football. Buckley's going to get upfield, though, and he's going to get met in the backfield, and a nice tackle by the Lions. Coming up with the sack is number 5, Vincent Ligley, and that will take us to 39 seconds left in the half. 3rd down and a timeout taken by North Kingstown.
Unbelievable play by number 5, Lingiel, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Would not allow himself to be beat to the outside. It's exactly what you want, what you teach these corners to do. And to be as heady as that and do it at this age is impressive. Because if he got that sideline, there's a little bit of trouble. Obviously, Buckley with a little bit of speed on him. So kudos to him for keeping him on the inside and steering him back toward where the help is. In fact, he made that tackle on his own as well.
He did, one-on-one. So we haven't seen a score yet in this game, obviously. 0-0 inside the final minute of the first half. It's got that feeling of, you know, whoever strikes first will take that momentum into the second half. Maybe run away with it. They're going to throw it. Buckley fakes. Buckley throws towards the end zone, and it's caught. It's caught in the end zone. That time it's brought in by 87. Dowd, who we saw drop a ball earlier, he didn't drop this one. And it's a touchdown through the air for NK, and momentum in the Jags' favor heading into the second half.
Unbelievable play right at the right time before you go into halftime. That's called giving your guy a chance. Michael Dowd was not open when Buckley let go of that ball, but he trusted his receiver, put in a spot where he thought he could go up and make a play, and just outside the reach of would-be defenders, they were able to put 6 on the board and take, like I said, take this game by the horns and get out to a lead.
So it's 6-0 here. They'll bring out the extra point affair. It's Buckley to Dowd, 11-yard touchdown. Puts NK up 6-0. Again, Lincoln's going to get the ball at the break. So that was an important drive for NK to cap off. And it's a 55-yard touchdown drive that started back at the 45. And it ends in the end zone. NK going to try to tack on the extra point. Nice ball from Buckley as they go on the ground to Buckley, and he's tackled by Piccoli. Back here, live from Providence, 6-0. NK strikes first. Buckley to Dowd, 11-yard touchdown pass. Caps off a 55-yard drive. As Lincoln will watch this ball. It's going to miraculously stay in bounds all the way to the 21. And Lincoln's going to have a tough out here as pushed out of bounds just shy of the 30 on the far sideline. And with 22 seconds remaining in the first half, you got to think Lincoln will probably just fall on this one as they'll get the ball back to start the half anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not a lover of that.
Oh, really?
Take a shot.
Yeah, why not?
You know.
Yeah.
Wow, 22 seconds. Listen, a lot can go wrong.
Yeah.
I've called it before with you, and then I said, I don't know why they went for that.
Yeah, I know it happens.
But, you know, he's got a good arm back there at quarterback, and I think they could draw something up or take a shot. Sometimes it pays off. Also, you know, it doesn't hurt to score, then get the ball after halftime.
That's true.
But, you know, you got to be careful. I almost, at this level, I don't like going back and gun in situations like this where you say the upside. Basically, what you're saying, the upside is not. It's very unlikely that you're going to score here, but you're going to snap the ball between your legs behind you with, you know, 9 and 10-year-olds. So we'll see. It looks like Caro, if I could find him. No, he's back in shotgun.
He's got an empty backfield. Now he brings a man in motion. That's Justin. And Justin's going to get the end around. sidesteps a defender. NK trying to keep him in bounds, and he is in bounds, tackled at the 35-yard line, a gain of 2, and the clock is stopped at 9 seconds. Timeout taken by Lincoln. So Lincoln going to get their money's worth here. Figure take one more shot maybe.
Yeah, and maybe I have a little PTSD from the last game.
Yeah.
Shotgun snaps over the head that resulted in touchdowns for the defense, because it looks like Lincoln really is doing well with all these shotguns, with all their backfield motions. It looks like their quarterback's got a good set of hands on him. And, it's obviously these coaches trust them. And they're running plays. They're not running, what I might take a shot here.
True.
And try to get Justin behind the defense instead of running so laterally. It's tough to pick up 670 yards running laterally with less than 30 seconds left in the first half, but you do what you can do, and it's also a personnel issue. Do you have someone that can stretch the defense in the way you want to with so little time on the clock? But to me, if I'm judging by their body language, they're coaching out there. It doesn't look like they're just saying take a knee and let's get to halftime. They're drawing something up.
Well, maybe there's a momentum play here too. Can we just pick up a big play that gives us some momentum on our offense that's been stale here in the first half, going into the second? 9 seconds left in the first half of a 6-0 game. North Kingstown just scored though, and they'll do an end around again into the hands of Justin. Justin upfield, and he's up to the 50. Big play to the 40. Justin still on his horse to the 20, 10, and it's a touchdown. That's why, Kyle Rowley, you play the full half, right? Look at that.
I thought you were going to say, I'm wrong. I'm right on some level, but I'm wrong because they ran the speed sweep, and he took the speed sweep to the house. So my apologies to the coaching staff. What an unbelievable run by Justin, and how timely, how needed was it with no seconds left on the clock. He ties this thing up in a championship game. You don't see that very often. Kudos to that coaching staff for staying aggressive, for drawing it up, for continuing to coach, and not just pack it in like some would them do.
Hey, I've been wrong before. I was wrong that time. 9 seconds left on the clock, and it's Calix Justin that takes it to the house.
Can't believe he had enough gas left to outrun that last defender. That was impressive. Gave a little tiny high step just to make sure, too.
Forget momentum. That's everything going into the break now. Extra point effort is, see what they rule it.
They're going to let him play. I like it.
They say it's in. Lincoln gets it, and they will take a 7-6 advantage into the break over NK.
It's impressive, take chances. Fortune favors the bold, as they say, and that was a bold move, even to take 2 shotgun snaps. Like I said, I had some apprehension about that, but staying aggressive tends to pay off. It keeps you in that forward-leaning mentality, and man, Lincoln is pumped. Talk about, like you said, some momentum. That's how you get momentum, is you take
back here in Providence, Rhode Island, as it's Lincoln and North Kingstown in the Peewee Championship, second half about to start. Some people were electing for Lincoln to knee out the half. Instead, they took advantage of it with 9 seconds left and scored a 65-yard touchdown, Calix Justin. And this kick goes all the way back to the 19-yard line. And NK is playing some defense here, but trying to get to the outside edge is Lincoln. And still up on their feet, out to the 40-yard line. 45 finally taken down. That is Smith. He brings it back nearly 25 yards, just shy of midfield, and that's where Lincoln, with all the momentum, will start this next drive.
Smith, unbelievable job on that return, making guys miss, subtle moves on the return, which is exactly what you want to teach. Get to one sideline, then find an opening and hit it. And he does a good job right there. All the momentum right now seems to be on Lincoln's side. They're making plays. They're excited. They scored right before the half. Calix Justin made me look like a genius.
Yeah.
Made you look like a fool.
That's why I'm the play-by-play guy. There were 5 drives leading up to NK's final drive of the first half, and everybody was just going 4 and out seemingly at some point, right?
Yeah.
And then just like that, you get a pass from Buckley to Down on the NK side for 11 yards. That put them up 6-0. And then the big running play from Justin to take the 7-6 lead after the successful extra point as Lincoln moves the sticks on their first drive of the second half. And just like that, they are into NK territory.
Ellison Harmon there on the carry. And you can see how important is that extra point right now, especially with what's been largely a defensive battle, could be the difference in this game. Although Lincoln looks like they have some life on offense right now. They've crossed midfield. They're flirting with the red zone right now. The offense comes out, tight set, 1 wide out.
So it was a 14-yard gain to the Lincoln 46 as another running play for the Lions. This time it's the quarterback Caro taking it himself. And he falls forward to the 35-yard line, or rather shy of the 37-yard line. Lincoln trying to add on to what is a 1-point lead, as Kyle talking about that ever so important extra point right now.
Yeah, what's interesting is that when you watch that extra point, I believe it was a quarterback sneak, the refs kind of let it play because they could tell it was just an inch outside. They kind of let that huddle, if you will, tip over.
Sure.
And I like that they did that. They let them fight for it instead of calling it. Clearly his forward progress wasn't stopped. Another big hit there from North Kingstown. That's number 87. Michael Dowd, again, we've called his names a few times. He's the recipient of that touchdown pass, that lone touchdown pass for North Kingstown. Buckley threw it up to him, made a great play in the left side, top side end zone, corner of the end zone. And big tackle there, big hit. We've seen a couple big hits so far today.
Grillis also in on the stop there. Or Grislis, I should say, Jeremiah. And it's going to be at the Lincoln 36 still, so a 1-yard gain. And it brings up 3rd down. Again, early on in the first half, we saw a lot of 3rd and 4th downs, and drives were stalling towards the end of sets of downs, and then both offenses woke up as the ball carrier still up on his feet is Harmon, and now he's taken down in the backfield by Mason Schottenfarber, and it's 4th down and about 5 to go.
I was going to say, get ready for a lot of Harmon and Caro right now because Calix Justin has limped over to the bench and is seated there getting some attention from the coach. We'll try to keep an eye on him, but obviously one of the stars of this show has now limped off onto the sideline. He's still seated in that bench area.
7-6 is the ball game score. Lincoln trying to convert on 4th down. Snap back, hand it off. And Caro trying to get to the edge, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds depending on the spot. And I think they got him a yard short. And they do. We'll flip the field.
What's interesting is with Justin out, they moved Caro over to his spot and put Harmon in at that quarterback spot. Not that they all don't do, they call everyone's number from every spot, but they like it that way. They feel like Caro has some speed with Justin out of the game, and they put the sure-handed Harmon back at quarterback. But nothing doing. North Kingstown gets them off the field, able to get their offense back out there and try to regain the lead in this game, which they had for the majority of the first half, all but 1 second of it, or 0 seconds.
That's right.
Because he scored with no time left before halftime.
This drive will begin at the NK 30, or the Lincoln 34. The ball carrier on the pitch gets upfield, and that again is Jackson Braun.
Braun runs hard, man. He big kid, knows how to use his pad level, and he's consistently knocking off 3 to 4 yards every time he touches the ball. Going with a heavy dose of him throughout the second quarter and into this third quarter.
3-yard gain up to the Lincoln 37. First drive of the second half for NK. A lot of fans here at LaSalle Academy today.
It is a good crowd for Peewee football.
Great atmosphere.
Yeah, they're loud too.
And penalty markers come in. So a false start going to be called against North Kingstown. Will back them up 5 yards.
You talk about the crowd. Both these towns, North Kingstown and Lincoln respectively, both kind of like, as far as Rhode Island standards go, football towns really.
Sure.
I would view them, have a kind of history of having good youth programs, having solid high school teams that are always competitive. And the crowd definitely came out today. I mean, it's amazing to see this many people for a youth football game, even being the championship.
Yeah, Lincoln has representation in the varsity championship, and NK has representation in the junior varsity championship. So there's also some fans here that are rooting for other Lincoln and NK teams that are watching the Jags and the Lions square off in the Peewee championship as well. So on 2nd and 11 from the 32-yard line, Buckley fakes the pitch. Buckley's going to keep it himself. If he can get to the edge, he's dangerous, and he does, to the 40, 45, sidesteps at the 50, out to the 40 and into Lincoln territory. That goes from the Lincoln 32, or rather the NK 32, to the Lincoln 37.
Buckley faked the toss to Braun, took it himself to the sideline. Like you said, a little high step, a little side step, a lot of moves, got to the sideline, and big pickup for North Kingstown. They really need that because need to get this momentum back on their side after that dramatic finish at halftime.
So it's a 30-yard gain for Buckley. We've seen him do that once already today. And just like that, it's 1st and 10 to go from the Lincoln 39. Buckley doing it himself, the quarterback. And Buckley hands it off this time. In the backfield, getting upfield, just shy of the 35, is Fox.
A similar design play there. They fake the toss to Braun, fake the run to Buckley, and then give it to Fox underneath. Sort of a play package. One play complements the other. You try to call those plays in sequence, and but minimal gain, 2nd down. North Kingstown doing a pretty good job in this half, keeping themselves in decent down and distances, I would say, although sputtered toward the end of the last drive.
Buckley under center, and he's going to take it himself. This is where he's dangerous. Makes a man miss. He's got a 1st down up the far sideline out to the 20, 15-yard line, and that's where he's pushed out of bounds. And it's another big gainer on the ground for the quarterback. And we'll see where the spot is to tell you the exact distance. They said he's going to go out of bounds at the 20-yard line, so a 16-yard gain. To the Lincoln 20. Into the red zone go the Jags.
Big number 72, Jeremiah Grizzlies out there in front of him. Buckley doing a great job with good blocking in front of him, but making some nifty moves on the outside. He's given these defensive backs for Lincoln a headache as far as trying to tackle him in the open field.
Buckley takes the snap, hands it off, and a modest gain for 26.
Yeah, well, Ellison Harmon did a great job there being disruptive in the backfield for Lincoln. He disrupted what they were trying to do, the flow of that whole play, and it was all downhill from there. So good job by Ellison. Anytime you can get in that offense's backfield, it becomes a real headache. They need to shore things up on that left side of the line, North Kingstown's offense does.
So a 1-yard gain. About 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. NK forced a turnover on downs for Lincoln, who possessed the football out of the break. And now they've put together this drive. Buckley under center. And we got some movement along the line of scrimmage. 54, that's Jackson Muller that jumped on the false start. He is the tackle on the left-hand side of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and I've got a sneaking suspicion they weren't running to his side as they had the stack, the triple H stack as we've coined it, to the right side there. So unfortunate, unnecessary penalty, but you live and you learn. They've still got a chance here. Like we said before, this is striking distance at this level. They are in scoring position, and we'll see what they can dial up. In second and long, you think sometimes they might whip out some passes as they haven't done so yet.
So Buckley takes it. 2 different times we've seen him do this. He's dangerous in space. He creates his own space as he sidesteps. He'll be shy of the first down, which is up at the 10-yard line. Be downed at the 11, but he gets those penalty yardages back. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, he's doing a valiant effort, really just fighting for every yard, turning what look like short runs into long gains, and you can kind of see him trying to put his team on his shoulders as they are down by 1 in this championship. Time is moving fast. 1:47 left in the third quarter already.
Yeah.
Seems like we just started this game.
7-6 the score. NK trying to jump back in front. Brune is the carrier, and the big fella upfield past the 10, falling forward to the 6-yard line, and it'll bring up 1st and goal to go from the 6.
It's a nice call. It's impressive to see Brune kind of get to the outside, turn that body weight upfield, put his head down, always finishing those runs, like we said, falling forward, and has made some, I'd call him the bread and butter of this offense. When they need something solid and that they can rely on, they go to Brune with that little bit of a speed sweep look.
Just 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining in the third quarter that NK has dominated. Buckley gets into the end zone, and NK retakes the lead with under 1 minute left to go in the third. The Jags move down the field. They started that drive at the NK 34, so it's going to be a 66-yard touchdown drive capped off by a 6-yard Buckley rushing touchdown.
Well, they go back to that heavy set, and I'll tell you this, it can look congested in the first and second quarter, and that's fine, but try playing linebacker against 3 guys coming at you all game long. It starts to wear on you, and that play is starting to open things up, and that set is starting to pay off for North Kingstown.
So they failed on their first extra point effort. See what they have in store the second time. Buckley again, and he's into the end zone. So it's 13-7. NK up on Lincoln with about 1 minute left to go in the third quarter.
Well, nice run. He made that look easy. Off the left side, almost untouched. A little bit, right side, I should say. A little bit of a late hit there deep in the end zone. Thought I was looking for flags on the field that would have been pushed out to the kickoff, but no flags down. There's a lot of lines on this field. It's tough to see where that end zone starts and ends. I believe those are the soccer goalkeeper boxes.
So Buckley has done it through the air once today, the 11-yard touchdown to Dowd. That was the first score, and then he takes it himself on the ground. That drive also included a big game, 2 or 3 15-plus yard gainers for Buckley. So he's trying to will his team to a championship as NK kicks this off, and it'll stay in bounds. Penalty markers come in, though. And it's against the kicking team. So Lincoln will benefit from that and start their second drive of the second half. They're going to re-kick maybe?
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're setting up to do. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, you know, talking
about
North Kingstown's offense, like you said, a heavy dose of Buckley mixed in with, you know, some side dishes of Bruin, and like they've found their rhythm in this game. I would call that a very impressive answer to what happened to them before halftime. You know, tough to go to halftime like that where you just lost the lead. This is the championship, remember. It's all on the line, and there's a lot of emotion in these games, so those big emotional swings can pay a toll. But North Kingstown handling themselves well as we see the kickoff.
So they forced to re-kick, back the kicking placement up a little bit, and Lincoln's going to receive this kick and start with excellent field position. Zigzagging through traffic and finally taken down is Smith. We've seen him bring back the ball a couple times. They're very impressive. They'll start this drive at their own 46-yard line.
Jazari Smith, number 18, if I'm pronouncing that first name correct, showing a plethora of moves there to the right side. I mean, that jump stop, sidestep, he must have made 3 guys miss on that play alone.
So it'll be 1st and 10. The chains are pointing the wrong direction, though. They must be getting prepared for the second half.
41 seconds it shows on the scoreboard right now.
That's what. Oh, here we go. Now they get them fixed. Just going the wrong direction. It's all right. So just shy of midfield for the Lincoln Lions in a game that they now trail. They took the lead just before half by a score. And they hand it off inside. And it was the quarterback that lined up as a running back in Caro. And it's a 12-yard rush, if not a little more. back here in Providence after the injury. Fortunately, he got some help from the coaching staff and did end up putting a little bit of weight on his right ankle, but it was Xander Caro, who's been a great focal point to this Lincoln team, that came off the field, and now he'll get tended to on the bench. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 40. This should be the last play of the third quarter before this close game heads to the fourth. Clock begins to roll again. 20 seconds left to go in the third. Lincoln lines up at the 40, and they hand it off. And it's going to be a 2-yard gain, maybe 3 on the back pedal. And that should... Back here at LaSalle Academy, 13-7, North Kingstown up on Lincoln as we begin the fourth quarter of a tight ball game. 13-7, Lincoln continuing to drive here. They led 7-6 at one point, and just last quarter, NK took the lead back as outside rush to the 35-yard line will bring up 3rd and short for Lincoln. The ball carrier again was 18 Smith. And that'll put the drive at the 35-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 5 to go. They need the 30 for a first down.
The good news for Lincoln, that Caro is back in the game after that short break. You know, it looked bad for a second. He wasn't putting any weight on his foot when he first came up, and then slowly, like you said, he started to put weight on it. A little bit of a break, and he's back out there kind of without skipping a beat. So that's a big, big sign because they are already missing Justin. I don't believe Justin is back in the game as well. Yeah. So they are full force.
So on 3rd down, they hand it off. And fighting for those extra yards, and I think he got it. Backpedaling himself is Justin, who's back in the game, as Kyle alluded to, and it's a 5-yard rush. That's what they needed for a first and a big first down conversion for the Lions.
Yeah, we've got a back-and-forth battle on our hands. Already, 3 lead changes, or you could call it 2 if you don't count the first score. Yeah. But and now Lincoln driving the field, got all their key players, key skill players back in the game, key first down at the 30. And, this is what championship football is all about. Can they answer the bell right here when they need it?
Similar formation, what we've seen. Caro in the backfield alone. He bobbled it, but he takes it himself. Trying to get to the right edge. He throws it, and it's incomplete. He was looking to the 20-yard line. Intended receiver was Yearby, and it falls incomplete. And it brings up 2nd and 10. Take a shot on first down.
Yeah, he had a secondary receiver in the flats, number 9, Jackson Williams. I would have loved to seen him drop that down to him. He really came wide open late. But had a chance there. Kind of throws the ball away as he's getting tackled. And you know, that's exactly what North Kingstown needs. We call this behind in the count. Second and long, it usually leads to third and long or third and short, and that's exactly what these defensive clubs want. They want third down opportunities so they can get off the field.
This is the Peewee Championship as Caro takes the snap, and he's going to take it himself. He gets a 5-yard gain to the 25. Will bring up 3rd and 5 again, which they just faced and converted on.
Number 91 for North Kingstown, Brady Hawley, making his way into the backfield, but Caro able to kind of escape and make something out of nothing there. It looked murky to start, but he puts them in a manageable third down situation. And this will be key here, although I would venture to say this is 4-down territory for sure for this team.
Pivotal drive here for Lincoln as Caro takes the snap again, and I think it was a false start. And it is going to back them up those 5 yards they just gained and make it 3rd and long now.
Yeah, that hurts. A lot of false starts in this game so far. More on North Kingstown side, but now we're starting to see it a little bit on Lincoln. I didn't see anyone move, but I was had my eyes in the backfield there.
Yeah, there's been 3 false starts, all on North Kingstown. Yeah. And Caro takes the snap, gets those penalty yards back, and a 1st down. He's got more, too. Inside the 10, he's taken down at the 7-yard line. And a 23-yard rush that sets Lincoln up nicely for a chance to score.
Well, we talked about how he limped off the field just a few minutes ago, and the all-important, you know, looks like leader of that offense. I'd say he's the main ball carrier is Caro. And what a run there. Turns what looked like possibly an offensive drive about to burn up, and he turns it into a 1st down and a chance to score here and take another lead.
Yeah, they're going to mark this at the 11-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 11. And Lincoln well in the driver's seat now. And obviously at this stage, you can start to think a little bit about the clock. It's in your favor.
I think they got him around the 7 right now.
Do they? Oh,
if you're looking at the line, there's a lot of lines down there, like I said earlier. And there we see that Ellison with the ball, or Harmon with the ball.
You're right.
Bobbing and weaving to the outside. Good job in the pursuit angles for North Kingstown's linebacking crew. We said big number 72 out there, Jeremiah Grizzlies, kind of controlling that defensive line. Both teams leaning heavy on the run, and we'll see a 2nd down here. They are knocking at the door.
2nd and goal from the 3-yard line after the 4-yard rush. Lincoln trying to tie this game up with the touchdown. Upfield, and it is a pile mover. Are they going to give it to him or mark him a yard short? They got him marked a yard short.
Yeah, North Kingstown, incredible job to hold that pile up, because we saw, you know, earlier in the game, the reps are going to let that play.
Yeah.
And if the pile tips over the end line, even if it's late, they're going to tend to give them that touchdown if you go by the history of this crew in this game.
So here we go. 3rd and goal from the 1. Lincoln pushes forward, and this time it's a touchdown. And the Lions are a extra point away from taking the lead with 5 minutes and change left to go in the 4th.
Lincoln's sideline is ecstatic. They are waving the crowd. This is a large crowd here, and they are enthusiastic. But, man, our 3rd lead change of the game. An important one. I shouldn't say lead change. They've tied it up. They will go for 1 here. But we talked about how quickly these quarters tend to go. So such an important drive there for Lincoln. I'm looking at the clock. We've got 5:12. It hangs in the balance here with the tie score. They're going to go for 1, which means, regular action.
So this is an important, and we got a timeout taken by Lincoln.
I like that timeout. They get a chance to look at North Kingstown defense, come out of the huddle, take a peek, see if they like the 13-13. Both teams have missed one extra point already. Coaches out there in the middle of it. Two coaches directing traffic. If I were to guess what's going to happen right here, direct snap to Caro straight up the gut.
Let him go.
It seems to be what they like to do inside the 3. But this is a legit 3. It's not a 2-yard gain. And, you know, it was impressive to see North Kingstown stand up that pile and not give any ground on a couple plays ago. So, you know, they're strong in the middle there. And I keep pointing out big number 72. He's right there, right at center. So they might want to go off tackle.
Lincoln used their first time out. And snap taken upfield, and it is a pile moving again, and they're in. The Lions are in, and Lincoln takes the lead.
Well, they changed it up. They gave it to Oliver Joseph, whose name we haven't called yet, number 74, almost like the fridge there. They take a lineman, put him in the backfield, and say, don't let anyone get in your way. And then, like you said, another pile that just the refs are letting it play and seeing which way that pile tips. Lincoln does a great job not to give up on it, and that is going to be the ever so slight lead. 1 point, 14-13 Lincoln, our third lead change of this game. We've got a back-and-forth battle. What we thought might be a defensive struggle has turned into two offenses finding their groove here in the second half. And I'm looking forward to this drive because we'll see if North Kingstown can answer. They've been doing these slow, methodical, heavy set formations, gaining 4 or 5 yards a clip. That'll all but take this clock down to 0 if that's what they're going to employ here.
Yeah, you look at NK's last touchdown drive that they took the lead on. It was a 66-yard drive that took a ton of time off the clock. And whistles are blown to blow the kickoff dead. And yards are at a premium now, so now those penalties become a little bit more microfied.
Yeah, you want to keep yourself in good down and distances right here, especially with the way North Kingstown runs this offense. You know, they can't afford those penalties. You know, I would say that Lincoln's a little bit more of the dynamic club, running a little more speed sweep, getting to the outside. Their quarterback's can move, but, you know, the way they employ this triple, heavy set formation just makes them a little more of a static, hold the ball, long drive team.
So they had to back the kick up a couple yards, and NK smartly is going to fall on it. Pretty good starting field position, though, at the 42. Falling on top of that one was 12, Andrew Hayes. So they'll start this drive at their own 42.
You know, call me crazy, but I kind of like a short kickoff there for Lincoln because if they put them back and they drove this field, like I said, you're looking at the clock, you're going, we're not going to have any time if they score here. Just the way they tend to move the ball. But now they've got it approaching midfield. You know, obviously Lincoln just wants to put an end to this and stop them, get off the field. We'll see what happens here on first down.
3 timeouts remaining for NK, who possesses the football, 2 for Lincoln. And the Jags with a chance to take the lead. Buckley, who's been great today, is the ball carrier, and he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage. He's stopped by number 11, Harmon for Lincoln, playing both sides of the football. It's a loss of 1.
Yeah, this is where that formation kind of telegraphs where you're going. It's going to be tough. You know, Lincoln's energized. They're going to send everyone that way. If I'm them, I put a tight end on the backside of that and run him on a corner route. Fake that action, throw this thing for the win. So
no gain, actually, or no loss for that matter. So it's at the NK 42 again. Buckley pitches it. And Braun is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And he'll bring up 3rd and long.
Well, Lincoln doing exactly what they need to do, giving up nothing, stingy on defense, 3rd and about 9. And this is a precarious situation for like we said, the methodical North Kingstown offense. But you got to put in perspective, 3rd down is usually a death sentence, but this is 2-down territory.
Right.
I would venture again. I haven't seen a punt team today.
Yeah, we've been here all morning and we haven't seen any special teams units for that matter, other than the kickoffs.
Right.
And a timeout taken by think it was by Lincoln.
3:59. Plenty of time. But in a bad spot, it's because no gain on first and almost no gain on second down. You know, when you play this style of offense and you get in these situations, it gets tough because like you're not polished in those passing areas. Your play card gets very limited very quickly. Whereas I would say Lincoln's offense a little more widespread,
sure.
different motions, different sets. Yep, North Kingstown coming out. Very tight-looking formation as they approach the line. Looks like it's going to be that triple unbalance.
Here's 3rd and 10. Lincoln called that timeout, so the Lions have 1 left. 3 for the Jags. Buckley takes the snap, and Buckley's got some space. Buckley avoids the first tackle, out to the 40. We got a flag that comes in as he's pushed out of bounds at the 31, and we will see what the call is. There was a Lincoln Lion that hit the deck. Correa, number 2.
Oh, boy.
And I think that might be coming back. Or is that a spot foul, though?
Yeah, Lincoln thinks it's coming all the way back as far as how they're reacting on the sideline. Did we get a call yet?
We have not. The white-capped official is at about the 50-yard line.
No official signal,
No.
but they are walking it all the way back. Unbelievable run by Buckley. He had near the first down, then spun, kept his balance, and picked up another 15 yards getting to the sideline. But all for nothing. They got this spotted at about the 44-yard line on the other side of the 50 now.
So that comes back. Brings up 3rd and 8. Ball at the NK 43.
Oh.
And some movement.
Smart play by Buckley. Uses snap count there in a bit of a bind there as far as down and distance. Very, very savvy play by the quarterback to use a snap count on that particular down and distance.
So to the NK 48 the ball goes. Now it's 3rd and manageable. 3rd and about 3 for an NK team that still has 3 timeouts left. But Kyle, to your point earlier where you can start playing with the clock yourself is you're trying to hold on to this ball and keep it. You can't give if you score, there's no time left for the other team. NK on 3rd and short. Buckley's got a ton of blockers up front, and Buckley's got the first down.
Oh.
He's tackled inbounds, but he's got just enough for the first on the 3-yard gainer as Yearby comes in with the stop, combining with Montgomery.
Obviously, Buckley's been doing a great job throughout this game, but a little bit nonchalant there as he was approaching the sticks, kind of ended that run standing up. You want to go low, make sure you get that first down. Although I'll give him this, the chains are on the other side of the field. Kind of tough to see when you're running in our direction how much you need.
So into Lincoln territory, the ball's going to be spotted at the Lincoln 46 after the 5-yard rush. And Buckley does it again on the ground. We had another timeout taken. I think that time it was by NK because Lincoln broke out of their huddle relatively quickly. That would leave 2 timeouts remaining for the Jags, 1 for the Lions.
You know, and the other thing we haven't seen today in either game, like you said, no special teams, but you got to wonder if they've got a field goal kicker on their sideline because, you know, I don't want to state the obvious, but they're only down 1 point, and they're approaching that territory.
Buckley's got it around the right edge.
Oops,
Buckley has space. Buckley to the 20. Buckley to the 10. Buckley to the end zone. NK takes the lead again. A 46-yard rushing touchdown for Chase Buckley.
Unbelievable. Just when they need a play, just when the sticks look like they're moving in the wrong direction, Buckley comes up with 2 plays. One the refs don't want to give him, so he does it again, this time down the left sideline for a touchdown. Outruns the entire defensive backfield of the Lincoln Lions, and that's going to give them more than a 1-point lead. They're up 5 now, 19-14. This is exactly why I said that short kickoff may work in Lincoln's favor.
You're right.
Because now they've at least got 2:32 on the clock, a chance to do something.
Yeah.
This is the last game of the season. You don't want to end up losing on your heels without your offense have a chance at punching back.
So here's the 1-point try. And the direct snap under center to Fox, who lined up, and it's against the defense. So half the distance to the goal, bring him up.
You know, it's unbelievable. Caro has a sense of this moment. He knows that this extra point is a big, big deal, especially with how they employ the extra points in this game. If they can score and win just on the touchdown alone, that sways the odds big time in your favor. So I don't know if you saw what he did right there. He jumped the snap count big time, like almost jumped over the other team's center, but the ref didn't like it. I thought he timed it up nicely.
Yeah. So here we go. Big extra point here. And it's Buckley again. Yeah. In virtually untouched. And it's 20-14. Big extra point converted for NK.
Yeah, huge. 6 is a lot better than 5 in this situation. Lincoln has showed an ability to move the ball, an ability to put points up on the scoreboard, especially in the second half. So that's such a huge play. I love what Caro did, trying to kind of disrupt that. Refs don't give it to him, and you've got a 6-point lead now and a back-and-forth battle. What's that, our fourth lead change?
Just counted that up, fourth lead change. Yeah, at one point this was 6. I mean, obviously 6-0 wouldn't count as a lead change, but 7-6 at one point. Then it became 12-7, then 14-13, and now 20-14. Back and forth we go here in the capital city.
Didn't you say defensive battle in the first quarter?
I thought so.
I like to prove you wrong.
Well, what happened was the first 4 drives, it was turnover on downs.
It was.
And there was a fumble in there at one point. NK forced a fumble.
In games like this, in championship games, the jitters help the defense because you could just come out and smack someone. The offense tends to be a more skill type set. You need to work with nuance. So that's kind of how these games can go.
They squib kick it, and falling on top of it wisely is Montgomery for Lincoln. And now penalty marker comes in. 2 penalty markers come in.
We'll see. You got a couple players down on their knees, taking a breath. These games are quick, but this one, because of the nature of it, it's felt a little bit longer, a little bit more arduous on these guys. They're a little more taxed. And you got to think, a lot of the key players are in every spot. They're playing 2 ways. They're carrying the ball every other play. Caro and Justin and guys like that. Buckley on the other side, Brune. Never mind the interiors.
The penalties were against Lincoln. So what's going to back up the Lions, who now have a tall task ahead of them. Again, we've seen them explode, though, in this game. 65-yard touchdown for Justin that ended the first half with 9 seconds on the clock, a 65-yarder. So we've seen those explosive plays.
100%. They have dynamic players that can go the distance. This is just a tough spot to be in at the Peewee level to put together a drive like this when you need it.
And the handoff is given to Justin.
He needs to get upfield.
And Justin's still on his feet, but he's going to get taken down, and now the pile pushing well backwards. 3-yard loss.
Yeah, Justin has a tendency to want to go that extra move, but oftentimes that's a big loss on first down. Bring up a 2nd and 13 on critical drive. I think a little bit more often he has to learn to just take that cut upfield initially, get the 2 yards instead of the 3-yard loss. That's a difference of 5, but,
So Lincoln started this drive at their own 47. It's back to the Lincoln 45, a 2-yard loss. And Lincoln has only one time they can stop the clock with a timeout. And they go on the ground, get those yardage back, and it's going to be dead even at midfield. And NK, do they get the football? They seem to think so. What's the ruling on the field?
They don't want to give it to him. It looks like they want to say his knee was down. With that type of pause, I think Lincoln's going to retain the ball if they haven't already.
They did.
Yep. good job by North Kingstown celebrating, trying to force the rest.
Back in Providence as Lincoln spilled their final timeout in this Peewee championship game. North Kingstown up 20-14. A minute 27 left to go. The Lions are going to have to march 50 yards with no way to stop the clock other than getting out of bounds and incompletions. Their first play out of the timeout is a 5-yard gain that brings up third down, third and short.
Fourth.
Oh, it is fourth. Yeah, they didn't move the number yet.
It happened fast. I mean, especially after the break. But that's Ellison Harmon, direct snap. He was at the quarterback position there. He at least gives them a chance here. This is a manageable situation, but could be the game right here. 57 seconds left. They need this. It's about a 3-yard, 4th and 3. Caro back behind center.
They got to snap the football. The Lions do. And they hand it off to Justin again, and Justin's going to be shy of the first down, and that will end it.
Tough. There was some miscommunication. The play clock was rolling down. We talked at the break how they did not have any timeouts left, so they had to do something. It seemed like a time where they want to call one of those, talk it over on that play, and a little bit disjointed in the backfield. They give it to Justin. He's not able to cut up and try to get that all-important first down, and North Kingstown hangs on. This is a back-and-forth battle. Now, this is the time, Stone, where you go out there and you kneel the ball a couple times.
There was a penalty marker, and I think that just came in. You got to feel for some of these kids learning with their emotions so young.
Yeah.
But you got to be patient there, and I think it was Jackson Yearby that removed his helmet, and the official penalized him for such. And now NK is going to be able to come out and just close this game out.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything can happen. I've seen a lot of football. They still have to make this snap. It's the youth level. What they would do often in arena, because you can time up the motion, man, is you take a swipe at the ball from the nose guard spot. Just try to cause it to like spit out of there and hope someone can scoop that thing up and hit the sideline. It's a championship. It's not a regular season game. It's not the semis. This is the championship. You can make something happen right here. Just one play. Fluky. You got to try something. And you can see Caro. See, that's my type of guy right there. He's still in the mix there, trying to disrupt something and make something happen. Won't just sit down and let the time tick. 27 seconds.
Well, Lincoln took a timeout. Or is it all right, they had one more.
We got some bad info.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't use it knowing they had that.
Yeah.
On that last 4th down, because it just looked like whenever your center or guard looks back at you to figure out what's going on, it's a bad precursor to what's going to happen on that play.
So after the timeout, 24 seconds remaining. And NK is just a kneel down away from a Peewee championship. The Jags kneel it out, and that will do it. Second champion of the day crowned. And it comes in a back and forth affair. The final score 20.